You had sex with a ghost?
A ghost, yeah.
Come on, man. Tell me about it.
I woke up and, yeah, a ghost. I was being mounted by a ghost.
Scooby-Doo-Doo-Boo! Ghost! Cocksucking ghost!
These videos are satiric reviews. You don't have to agree, but don't bitch about it.
This thing on? Hey there, I'm Social Injustice Warrior V Infuso, and if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out. Have you ever heard something so stupid that you could physically feel yourself lose IQ points listening to it? Well, you're about to. You see, we're going on a bit of a quest here today. Today, we will watch as the spirits of Marilyn Monroe, Jimmy Savile, and Charles Manson are conjured up to enlighten us all. Because when I think of a group of people I want to hear from post-mortem, it's definitely the president's side piece, a pedophilic crypt keeper, and someone who walked around with a swastika engraved in their forehead. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty damn excited. Of course, that's all about to change, because before we start chatting up the dead, first we have to listen to a 20-minute lecture about how real all of this is. And that's not an exaggeration either. They literally go on for 20 minutes a stream about how professional they are, and how you just need to have faith. Hey man, this shit is legit. The scam artists told me themselves.
To help with your quest to find truth about many things of importance for the world and for society and our understanding and growth. This is what I'm after and the work I do. And it turns out we're all in this together and we're all interconnected. And what hurts one can spread, and there's value in finding out truth about things, especially when it's pointing you towards something very, very sinister that influences humanity as a whole. In addition to channeling divine beings and the higher selves of individuals in the living, I can also channel light beings. You don't fully transition to the light immediately. They need help, disconnected largely from the divine realm. And that's why so many struggle with faith, because you have to have faith because there's very little evidence within your own perceptions. So much influence. Everything counts because the good and bad, well, is to some extent the past, because everything is swirling around as energy. So the light beings have a legacy and a higher state of preparation and awareness. Someone who knows nothing about spirits and extraterrestrials won't be told.
Okay, great. Thank you, Carl.
Shall I go ahead and get started?
Okay, great. Thank you, Carl. And today, Carl's going to channel Marilyn Monroe.
I'm sorry, what? What now? Oh, good. They showed us that they Googled her before the reading, which means that this session will consist of half facts and completely made up pieces of fiction.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so just give me a minute to get into the right state of consciousness to make the connection, and then she'll announce when she's here.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
This is Marilyn Monroe speaking.
Jesus, Marilyn, death is really taking a toll on you. I don't think you would have wanted to live to see yourself in this condition.
Hello, Marilyn. Thank you for joining us. What were the circumstances of your death, and what happened to you after you passed?
What the hell is wrong with you? Has nobody ever taught you manners? You can't just ask somebody how or why they died. Especially when you're first meeting them. That's rude as fuck. This is Marilyn Monroe we're talking to. Have some goddamn respect.
My passing was very, very troubled. And the reason for that was I was in a terrible frame of mind because I had been threatened at length about my knowledge of high-level political figures and that this would once and for all make me the most vile and evil female. They arranged my demise, and that all in the world would come to hate me and regret my existence. And the pain of my passing only grew. I was in a state of separation like none other. It is like being buried alive.
Oh man, that's so Marilyn. That's such a Marilyn thing to say. Question though, why does Marilyn now sound like a speak and spell? Just curious. Isn't it weird that when Marilyn's talking, she, much like Carl himself, just rambles on incoherently about light, darkness, energy, and other unrelated shit, while simultaneously being super vague in all that she says and not actually answering any of the questions that she's asked? It's weird. See, now it starts off like this, but then Marilyn just goes off the walls and says some crazy shit.
But wait, there's more.
You might not like their politics. That was not the point of their mission. It wasn't to serve a political party or even a left-leaning agenda versus a light right-leaning agenda. It was to save humanity from the extraterrestrial agenda.
That's right, the Kennedys were put in place to save humanity from ETs. Break out your tinfoil hats, because we're about to get woke as fuck in here.
With the newer perspectives of tolerance, allowance, promotion of diversity, sexual liberation, freedom on a personal level that is near total, where drug taking and so on are esteemed qualities and virtues even, and just an interesting aspect of a character, all of which creates an impression in the young particularly of its acceptability. And so we are not being prudish here. We are simply referring to the fact everything has consequences, and the fact that these icons accepting and in effect promoting these behaviors through their example are doing so because the extraterrestrials want that out in front of all the eyeballs. They want us to emulate people with self-destructive habits. They want to drag down humanity. This is all manipulation. So the use of sexual surrogates and representatives to seduce and charm and distract and engage and compromise people in positions of power across the board serves the cabal and serves them mightily for many, many reasons and many, many agendas.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. And with that, I would like ask Carl to come back.
Wow, thank God for Wikipedia, huh guys?
Welcome everybody, this is Denny with Why Is This True? And today, Carl and I are going to do another channeling session, this time with Jimmy Savile. Carl Morrison and I have been doing a series of channelings with notable figures, some people that are well known, some that are a little bit more obscure. In this case, today we're going to do Jimmy Savile, who probably a lot of people in the US have never heard of him, but in the UK he's quite a famous fellow. And I will be reading a bio from Wikipedia about Jimmy Savile to kind of lay the context here. So in this instance, Carl did have to checked on Jimmy, found out that he was not in the light, he was an earthbound spirit. We did a spirit rescue, and what was unusual in this case is the amount of time between the rescue and his availability for doing something like this.
Yeah, it was really nice of Jimmy to take time out of his schedule, especially with, being dead and all, Guy's still a busy man. I mean, between harassing the ghost of Anne Frank and John Benet Ramsey's, I just don't know where this guy has the time.
Yeah, this gentleman is pretty typical of a lot of humans.
I'd seriously rethink that statement. There was nothing typical about Jimmy Savile. Typical humans didn't look like him, didn't think like him, and didn't act like him. This is far from a typical human.
But I do ask that before they ask me to check that they're willing to follow through and pay me for my time to do the spirit rescue, so I see that they're in the light.
Yeah, that's right, Carl. You make your spirit money.
He was an English disc jockey, television and radio personality, a dance hall manager, and charity fundraiser. He hosted the BBC television show Jimmy'll Fix It, and was the first and last presenter on the long-running BBC music chart show Top of the Pops, and raised an estimated £40 million for charities. At the time of his death, he was widely praised for his personal qualities as a fundraiser. After his death, hundreds of allegations of sexual abuse were made against him, leading the police to believe that Savile had been a predatory sex offender, possibly one of Britain's most prolific. There had been allegations during his lifetime, but they were dismissed and accusers ignored or disbelieved. 450 people had made complaints against Savile, with the period of alleged abuse stretching from 1955 until 2009, and the ages of the complaints at the time of the assaults was ranged from 8 years old to 47 years old. The suspected victims included 28 children aged under 10 years old, 10 boys aged as young as 8, and a further 68 were girls between 13 and 16 years old, and nearly 3/4 of alleged victims were under 18. Some 214 criminal offenses were recorded with 34 rapes having been reported across 28 police forces.
This is Jimmy Savile. You may call me Jimmy, as all my friends have. This is a most interesting turn of events. It is much like flipping something on its opposite side and seeing it from an entirely differing perspective.
Well, that's definitely Jimmy. If he stays in this body any longer, then this man might start sprouting pedo barriers.
Forgiveness will help greatly for me to advance from where I find myself now. The first thing to note is I am truly back in the light and with the loving Creator. And the reason for this is all of Creator's humans are a part of the family.
Oh, you're one of those religious people. You're the New Testament type of God, where he just loves and accepts all his children no matter what they do. See, now, I don't know if I'm so much into the New Testament God. I'm more of an Old Testament kind of guy, you know, like when he flooded the earth because people weren't praying or worshiping him enough. That's more my kind of guy. Granted, I'm agnostic, so maybe I'm just not spiritual enough to fully understand this or comprehend. I'll tell you what though, God is a hell of a lot better of a father than I would ever be. Because the second my grown kid tells me they were touching other people's non-grown children, not only am I disowning you, but I am testifying against you in the court of law. Maybe I'll come to visit you every now and again, but even then, there's no promises. You know, honestly, I probably won't even do that. But maybe, I'll accept some of your collect calls. Maybe.
All are treasured, all are loved, and all are forgiven by Creator, no matter what they might do or not do. The idea of condemnation, judgment, banishment, and consignment to eternal torment is not ever the doings of Creator, and I myself must find ways to heal. I have Creator's support in this and have received healing from Creator.
Doesn't that just warm your heart? To know that one of the most renowned child molesters is at the right hand of the Creator? Wow. Amazing logic. It makes it that much better when you take into account all the other accounts and rumors of Savile being a devoted Satanist. That's great.
To take advantage of another, in particular a child. This is an act of immorality by intruding on the free will, and in the course of doing so, causing soul wounds to that individual, which may take many, many years, and often.
Look at this. Look at this comment section. Completely drinking their Kool-Aid. That's some good cyanide, huh? Actually, upon checking back on this video, I found out that it's since become unlisted. And I wonder why. You know, maybe it's because Jimmy Savile mispronounces his own name throughout the entire reading.
This is Jimmy Savile.
Jimmy Savile.
The Jimmy Savile. Love Jimmy Savile.
Jimmy Savile.
Maybe it's because Savile talks without his accent, or uses American slang and phrases. Or maybe it's because a bunch of people already pointed all of this out.
And in many cases, multiple lifetimes. Once wounded and victimized in this fashion, it predisposes that individual to be wounded again. This can be manipulated and exploited by dark beings to seek out such individuals as softer targets and help to bring together perpetrators with prior victims to continue things, to continue the pattern of victim-perpetrator. And this can go on through the centuries, in fact, with a revisitation of the same kind of torment again and again. This drags down both perpetrator and victim. This was the track I was on in my recent incarnation. And this was set in motion by a prior lifetime serving the darkness in a different way to become a perpetrator under their direction.
Oh, okay, so in short...
Do not diddle kids, it's no good diddling kids.
Thanks, Jimmy. Really important that you came through. Really appreciate it. Would not have known that otherwise. I appreciate. Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy. Praise him. Oh, of course, here we go again. Didn't know you had to cite your resources before a spiritual channeling. I was unaware that this was a high school book report.
This is Charles Manson speaking.
Thank you for joining us. Can you describe the conditions for you before and after the spirit rescue, a description of your light callers, and your experience returning to the light?
We are very happy to do so. We understand your curiosity, and we fully understand the vast ignorance of most people.
We understand the vast ignorance of most people. But do you though? But do you really? Because something tells me that you don't.
Not knowing this calamity can befall anyone, including themselves. We are happy to serve as a case in point. Many would see our floundering in the darkness upon our death.
You guys get the point, right? I don't want to put you through any more of this. I mean, you already have to deal with me on a weekly basis. You have enough going on in your lives, is what I'm trying to say. You don't need this bullshit. But you do get the point now, right? They close their eyes and say some vague bullshit about the person's life and passing before spewing off about the Steven Spielberg sequel that we'll never get and reciting dialogue from Kingdom Hearts 3. It's all bullshit. It's beyond stupid, and I can't even imagine who would. Son of a bitch. Alright then. No, that's fine. No, that makes sense. Sure, yeah, no, okay. No, that's cool. I'm not even... I'm not even mad about it. I'm uninfected. That do you think I care? Because I don't. You care. You're the one who cares. You know what? That's it. We're changing everything. We're revamping this channel immediately. I am now channeling the spirit of Robin Williams. Robin! You just can't trust that guy. Well, all in all, I'm Social Injustice Warrior V Infuso, and what? I'm sorry, what's that? Yeah, Freddie Mercury's here. Give me a second. Freddie wants you to know that if you like the words that came out of my mouth hole, then don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have a free moment of your time, okay. If you have a free moment of your time and a free $1 to spare, then head over to our Patreon, where for just $1, you too could help keep this boat afloat. And you'd get access to old content before it airs, plus your name at the end of the credits. Freddie's a smart fucking guy. He knows his shit. Freddie is on point here. Oh, what's that? Okay, and I'm also here with the career of Kevin Spacey, and he wants you to know that if you can't spare $1, then you can at least maybe spare a share? I don't know, maybe? But I wouldn't listen to what that guy says. He's fucked.
Thank you for thanks guys for watching the Social Injustice Warrior. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, what he said. Good job, Morty.
The Social Injustice Warrior videos take a fair amount of time, effort, patience, and talent. And V has none of these things. So help this poor bald fuck out and join the crusade against stupidity by joining our Patreon.
Wasn't high at all.
Were you tripping?
No, I was not tripping.
You've had quite a life.
I've had some crazy situations.
No! Don't stick that there! No! Oh, wait a second. Oh, hey, that's not all that bad. I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything at all. I think I might do a crossword puzzle.